Welcome back, everyone, to Talking Toku, Boston's only podcast about Godzilla, Gamera, Ultraman, and all their kaiju friends. I am your host, David Scrivani.
I'm your co-host, Brian Kershaw.
And unfortunately, once again, we are not joined by Brian's roommate, who I was told was going to be here, but then he wasn't.
He had to get a new doorknob.
That's the reason he's not here, really?
Yeah, it broke off this morning, and he decided it was more important than talking about Rampage.
That's a piss-poor excuse if ever I've heard one.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Dakota, I'm calling you out. I don't even know if you listen to the podcast. You probably even don't.
He follows us on Twitter.
He follows us on Twitter, but he doesn't listen to it, I bet.
Oh, wait, you know what? No, he deleted his Twitter. Never mind.
Oh, right after I followed him, too?
Yep.
Dang. That hurts, Dakota. It really does. I thought we were pals. Muchachos, even.
No.
Disappointing. All right, well, as Brian may have spoiled for us a little bit, we are going to be talking about 2018's Rampage today. But first, of course, we have to talk about the news. Brian, do you have any news for us?
No.
Man, you're making me carry all the weight.
I don't... I follow news, but, I don't follow it like you do. You're the news guy.
I am the news guy. I should start messaging you the list I bring up so you can cover some of this stuff.
Yeah, just do it 50-50, and I can read from a script.
Well, we'll have to do that next time. And it's kind of become one of the more well-known visuals in the whole franchise overall. Baltan himself has become kind of one of the main faces of Ultraman foes. So unfortunately, it's unfortunate that Nakano's passed, but
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. And once again, I believe the GoFundMe for Cleve Hall's burial is still up and running. I put the link to that in last week's episode. I'll probably continue doing that this time. I haven't really heard any news on how it's going, but here's hoping. Also in the news, we're getting our shout out to Jordan Vogt-Roberts out of the way soon.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because Netflix has just announced a live action adaptation of the Gundam franchise, which will be directed by Kong Skull Island director Jordan Vogt-Roberts. Not a lot of details at the moment. Brian K. Vaughan, who is the showrunner for AMC's Under the Dome, which is a Stephen King adaptation, which I haven't watched, but I've heard it's good. He's going to be a screenwriter, executive producer. I don't know much about Gundam. I know it's big robots, war is bad. That's all I know. I've heard it's good. I heard there are good Gundam series, and I've heard there's not so good Gundam series. But hey, I think Jordan kind of proved with Kong Skull Island that he's a very capable director, especially when it comes to more anime stuff. Because Skull Island had a lot of anime references to it, especially with the Skullcrawler's design. But I can't really think of anyone better to take on something like that.
He's a good director.
He is. Have you seen his first movie, The Kings of Summer?
Maybe. I'm not sure. I don't think so. But I've been surprised at how many movies I've seen and just haven't remembered.
That's understandable.
So, I might have. I'll look into it later.
Good luck, because I remember a couple months ago, Jordan went on Twitter and was he was kind of calling out the distribution company because apparently you can't watch it anywhere. Oh. It's not on any streaming services. I don't even think you can rent it on Amazon or something.
Well, that's a shame.
Yeah, it is. So, but if you can find it, go watch it. It's a very, very, very wholesome movie. You would not be able to tell it was from the guy who went on to do Kong Skull Island. That's for sure.
Okay, all right. Well, hopefully, it's a show, the Gundam show.
Or
a movie.
It's a movie he's doing. Yeah.
Well, hopefully the movie doesn't get stuck in hell like his
Well, that's the thing.
movie.
A Gundam movie's been in development hell for a number of years.
Yeah.
They've been talking about doing one for a while, but this is the first actual piece of news that we've gotten on it since it's just, hey, a Gundam movie's happening.
Happening doesn't mean...
Yeah, no, it doesn't. But we have a director and we have a screenwriter now, so that's something.
Yeah.
hopefully this one won't get stuck in development hell like the Metal Gear movie was, because I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
No, because he's got to work with Konami.
He's got to work with Konami,
which is not ideal.
Not ideal. That's one way to put it. Yeah. But I mean, hey, Jordan hasn't really done anything since 2016, so
except absolutely own my Instagram.
What?
Because I follow him on Instagram and like, wait,
what are you talking about?
Well, he's on Instagram and his Instagram's awesome.
What do you mean own your Instagram?
Because he's like shows up more often than everyone else.
Oh, okay.
Because like Instagram's weird, like they do that thing where they like put like the most popular things like up top on your timeline thing.
I got you.
And for some reason he's always there. So whenever I open Instagram, it's just Jordan, and I feel like it's because we're constantly shouting about it on here. So
you're saying we're just one step closer to getting him on the show.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, we're 4 for 4 on talking about how much we love Jordan Vogt-Roberts. So Jordan,
someday
the door's open.
Someday.
I mean, not literally, because we still live in a pandemic hell world, but I'm vaccinated. Brian, I think, are you fully vaccinated, or are you still waiting on the second dose?
I still need my second.
Still need the second dose. Jordan, once we're vaccinated, get in here. We'll talk all about Kong.
This is so strange.
This
is so weird.
If anything, we're pushing him away now.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on before it gets any weirder. Godzilla Singular Point. We officially have a release window. It's going to be dropping in June of this year. No exact date of broadcast, but the series finishes its initial broadcast in Japan on the 24th of June, so I expect we'll get it shortly after that. I have some friends who have watched the show, who are watching the show, because it's not fully out yet, but I have a friend who like cares absolutely nothing for Godzilla, and he seems he's really enjoying it so far. So
wait, so it is out somewhere right now?
It's airing in Japan like a normal TV series would, like weekly episodes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Netflix is doing their thing where they're just going to drop the whole thing all at once it finishes the broadcast. So
okay, looking out for it.
Yeah, looking out. I mean, I've seen a bunch of kind of out of context clips and screenshots, and things look really cool. I know someone posted the entire like the outro online, and I haven't actually watched the video, but the outro, the visuals are just a couple of screenshots, and oh my god, the creators did their research on Godzilla. They're like, every inch of these screenshots just has Easter eggs from all across the franchise. Like, you can see Jean Reno's character from Godzilla 98 in one of the pictures.
Oh boy,
it's some good stuff. It made me smile looking at all the various things in it. It looks really cool.
Okay,
so
all right.
Yeah, I mean we're definitely looking forward to Godzilla Singular Point. I hope I don't get spoiled too much for it, because I honestly considered, because it's, as well as it's broadcasting, it's also going up each episode on Netflix Japan.
Oh, I have a VPN.
See, exactly. I thought about getting a VPN so I could watch it, and I mean, I have to assume they have English subtitles in Japan. Like, they have the option. Like, we have various subtitles options here in America, so I imagine they have the option there too. Probably.
I can tell you.
Yeah, you can
later.
Go check out the first episode and find out.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
we should get a VPN to sponsor us. ExpressVPN, where are you?
ExpressVPN, yeah. I still haven't reached out to Raid Shadow Legends to see if they'll sponsor us.
Oh, no. You don't reach out to them. They reach out to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll keep that in mind. I mean, apparently, so I actually looked at our how we're doing in terms of listens. Spotify, we're only getting like a couple listens here and there, which that's understandable. I don't admittedly, I don't do a great job promoting this podcast, but these episodes also go up on the MMTV SoundCloud. We're getting like 20 listens on there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Our the Melrose, who was it? Some Melrose like city councilor apparently was had listened to our first episode, and she was happy that there was a podcast like this out there.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, we're moving up in the world, Brian.
We're somewhere.
We're going to get Mayor Paul Broder on this podcast, hopefully. Could you imagine?
Well, let's talk about, we could talk about Pacific Rim Uprising with them. Make them watch it.
Oh my God. No, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. The art book for Godzilla vs. Kong now has a release date of May 21st. There are some previews online. Looks pretty cool. I'm a sucker for concept art, especially when it comes to big monster movies. I'm hoping there's a decent amount of concept art for like Mechagodzilla and the War Bats and everything, because admittedly, I don't own the art books for any of the other MonsterVerse films, but one of the things I really liked about the art book for 2014 was we saw the various designs they did for Godzilla. And then unfortunately for the art book for King of the Monsters, there weren't a whole lot of like concept designs for Mothra or Rodan. There was some for Ghidorah, but not nearly as much as they had for Godzilla in 2014. So I'm hoping we see a little more of the concepts going into what we ended up getting for Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, I think I went on Twitter not long ago. I don't go on Twitter very much, but I did see a bunch of concept art for Mechagodzilla like pop up.
Yeah,
I saw there was a thread on there where some concept artists just like threw up their work that they did for the movie.
Yeah,
and a lot of it was really cool, but I didn't see any like really different designs. All of them kind of looked very similar to what we got in the movie. But yeah. I hope that there's some cool designs on there. I hope that if there is a lot of designs in there, that there isn't one that makes me go, oh man, I wish they used that instead.
Not like we had with the 93, the Heisei Mechagodzilla. Because you look at the concept art for that movie, every design is way better than we actually got.
Well, even the Mechagodzilla on the cover, like the actual like art, official artwork for the movie,
Nishikawa,
it was
design
way cooler than what we got in the movie. What we got in the movie was so lame.
It's just it's too streamlined and simple. Like I understand why they didn't go with the Nishikawa design for that film, because it would have been, well, actually not even, because they reused the concept for Mogera a year later. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, weird. It was a weird decision.
Yeah.
Probably budgetary.
Maybe. I mean, granted, even if we don't get a whole lot of concept art for Mechagodzilla in the book, the concept artist who designed Mechagodzilla, who also designed the Mechagodzilla in Ready Player One, he's posting stuff all the time about Mechagodzilla, because he loves the fact that he loves to brag about the fact that he got to design Mechagodzilla twice now.
Yeah, and actually the Mechagodzilla in Ready Player One was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I seem to recall like when he was designing it, Toho said like they showed him that Noriyoshi Orai poster and were like, make it look like this. Yeah. So it looks pretty. It looks. I mean, it's not a 1-to-1 thing. Like they took some liberties with it to make it look a little less, complex. But I think it's still a great design. Yeah,
would have liked to see it in an actual Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
Maybe someday.
Would have liked to see it in a better movie.
Yeah, I have not seen that movie and I don't want to.
I snuck in. I didn't pay for it.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, I don't know what I saw before. I remember we were leaving me and my friend Matt were leaving the theater, and we were about to leave, and he goes, "Dave, you want to see Ready Player One?" I'm like, "Okay."
You're like, "Not if I have to pay for it."
No. We hadn't even like went past the ticketing booth. We were just like still in the hallway where the theater was. He's like, he points to the sign. You want to go see Ready Player One? I'm like, all right, let's do it.
Oh my God.
Admitting to a crime live on.
I don't know if it's a crime.
I mean, you're not paying for something, so technically, I guess it is.
But do you really think they care?
No, God, no. If you were gonna prosecute every kid who snuck into a movie, there would be so many kids in jail right now.
Yeah. And also the court system would be even like more.
Oh, absolutely.
More clogged than it is.
All right, moving on. Our last piece of news for the day. We have a new Ultraman series announced. Right off the heels of last year's Ultraman Z, Tsuburaya Productions has finally announced the follow-up series, Ultraman Trigger New Generation Tiga. It's going to be celebrating the 25th anniversary of Ultraman Tiga, which I have not seen, but Trigger looks to be a kind of retelling of Tiga. I'm not really sure exactly what that means. Maybe it's going to be taking place in the main Ultraman continuity. As I understand, like Tiga, Gaia, and a lot of the other Heisei era shows kind of take place in a different universe than the Showa and the New Generation stuff. I could be making that up entirely, but who knows? Nothing on plot yet, obviously, and also not really sure if it's going to be simulcast on their YouTube channel like they did with Ultraman Z. I really hope that's the case because it, doing it that way, it makes it so the shows are way more accessible to fans who don't live in Japan and who wouldn't otherwise have access to shows like that. I was very pleased when they said Ultraman Z was going to be simulcast. And you didn't watch it though, Brian.
No. Someday.
How's Ultra Q going, Brian?
Not going.
It's not going.
Someday I'm going to. I promise. I actually will get around to watching it. Just been busy.
Yeah, I mean, you're apparently moving in August, so you're gonna have to do it before then.
Yeah,
because I'm gonna want it back before you move.
That is true. So I'm gonna have to.
Do that. Read the Scottian book. Read the Avatar comic.
Yep. I'll do them all in one day.
All in one day.
Yep. I'm gonna
watch a 30 episode long series in one day.
Yeah, but how long are the episodes?
Like 22 minutes.
Oh, that's not too bad.
30 of them.
Okay, that's maybe we could take a week off.
Okay, there you go.
I'm gonna take a staycation. I'll stay home.
I mean, when I watched Ultra Q, I think there were only like 5 episodes to a disc, so I just watched a whole disc each day.
Okay, yeah,
and it's like 6 discs, so that's 6. That's a week.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, you put in an hour to the side each day, watch some Ultra Q, and it'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah, I could do that. Someday. I'll let you know when I start.
Okay. I'm gonna get a text like late July.
Yeah, I was gonna say
2 weeks before he moves.
3 months from now.
Dave, I'm watching Ultra Q finally. Like, oh.
I'm handling Ultra Q like I handled all my homework for any stage of school. Leaving it for literally an hour before the class that it's due for.
Amen to that. All right, that will do it for the news. Let's get in to 2018's hit Dwayne Johnson blockbuster, Rampage. All right, Brian, you're the one who watched this more recently. I'll let you do the honors.
It's so good. Like, it is so much better than it had any right to be. It is by no means a great movie, but man, is it stupid fun to watch.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Like, I think I'm speaking for both of us when I say that cheesy Dwayne Johnson action movies are kind of a guilty pleasure for us.
Oh yeah.
They're absolutely stupid. I wouldn't even really consider many of them very good.
I still haven't seen Skyscraper.
I know. We were going to see it, but wasn't it like sold out or something?
We were going to see it, but I think the theater that we went to either had very limited showings of it because I think something else big came out.
Yeah, because so we've seen that. We've seen Rampage, and I remember we saw San Andreas, and the only reason we saw San Andreas because we were going to see Spectre, and that was sold out. So oh, we're already at the movie theater. We might as well see something. So we saw San Andreas.
San Andreas was a wild ride.
It really was.
But you know what? Honestly, Rampage is like San Andreas except with giant monsters.
It really is. Like I feel like it's difficult to describe Dwayne Johnson action movies because I feel like they're so there's something that like sets them apart from normal big budget action movies. Like they're their own genre.
It's the Dwayne Johnson cinematic universe.
The Dwayne Johnson cinematic universe.
Yeah, all these movies actually take place in the same timeline.
That also
Skyscraper is last because he loses his leg.
Oh, and we saw Hobbs and Shaw too. I dragged along to see Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Which I got to show you the other Fast and Furious movies because they're way better than that.
Well, you have the box set.
I own all 8 movies and Hobbs and Shaw, so all 9 movies.
I have been told by multiple people to watch them.
They are They vary in quality. I'll say that much.
I've heard the later ones are the better ones.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Rampage was I don't think anyone was really expecting it to be good.
I mean, if you watch the trailers for it and you go to see it, your expectations are going to be met.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment of it.
Here's the thing. So I watched it last night, and before then I had not seen it since we saw it.
Really? Okay.
So I had I never actually rewatched it. I bought it on Blu-ray like when it came out, and I was just like, oh man, I'm gonna watch this. And then it took me this long to watch it, because I'm just such a busy guy.
Yeah.
But I watched it and I was like, man, that was still pretty good.
It rocks.
It held up.
It has, like you said, it has no business being as entertaining as it is. And again, I would not consider Rampage a good movie, like a legitimately good piece of cinema. But similar to Godzilla versus Kong, it's just a damn good time. Like, there's nothing inherently wrong with it. It's a big budget Dwayne Johnson action movie that just happens to feature giant monsters. And, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
No.
Nothing's wrong with that at all.
And honestly, Rampage had a lot in common with Godzilla vs. Kong in terms of like the experience of watching it. Because they're like, oh, they're already in, where's the last fight? Chicago?
I think it's Chicago, yeah.
Like, oh, they're already in Chicago. It's the same reaction I had. We're like, oh, they're in Hong Kong already. Yeah. Like, it was so weird because like the whole movie, or the Rampage, the whole movie, they're just like, it's mainly like Dwayne doing his thing, and then like generic military dude going like, oh, the monkey and the wolf are running together. What does this mean?
Generic military dude. You're not talking about Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character, are you?
No, well, no. I mean, like, no.
Okay, good, because Jeffrey Dean Morgan, he steals the show in every scene he's in.
He was so good in this.
He for a movie based on a 1980s arcade game about giant monsters, Jeffrey Dean Morgan did not have to try that goddamn hard in this movie.
But he did.
He did.
Or he didn't. We don't know.
I mean, judging from the other things I've seen him in, he definitely did. Like, this is he just chose the persona he wanted to do and just went for it. He's just like this like big talking cowboy persona, and it's very weird, but it absolutely works 100% of the time.
Oh yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and
no, he was definitely the best part, and him interacting with Dwayne Johnson. I don't even remember Dwayne Johnson's name.
I don't remember any of the characters' names in this movie.
The only names
Granted,
I know...
I watched it. I didn't... I full disclosure, I didn't watch this in preparation for the podcast. I watched it back in January. I'm like, yeah, that should be fine. Brian actually watched it a couple days ago, and he doesn't remember the names.
Yeah, it's not important.
They're not important.
Even the monsters' names aren't that important, but you kind of learn... George.
George is the only one that's important. Ralph, which is the wolf, if you haven't played the original game, Ralph's name gets used in a throwaway line that feels really out of place, and you can tell they're doing it just to satisfy fans of the game. And then Lizzie, the giant alligator, she doesn't even get named at all. She's just an alligator.
She just shows up like out of nowhere.
Yeah,
like, there's a brief glimpse of like...
Well, you see, it's kind of built up. Like, you see one of the canisters with the whatever it is, the genome thing. I think it's like some gas thing. You see it land in the Everglades, and then when the villain, I want to say her name's like Olivia or something.
Probably.
I don't know.
What's an evil woman name?
Olivia.
Yeah.
I'm probably only saying that because of Olivia Pierce from Dune 2016, though.
Well, we just lost a viewer named Olivia. I'm
sorry,
if there's one out there, I'm sorry.
Wherever you are, I'm sorry. Oh no, what if the Miller's counselor's name is Olivia?
Oh no, we're gonna get canceled.
No. But when she turns on the thing to attract all the monsters to Chicago, we see Lizzie kind of turn in the river, but we don't actually see her in all her glory until that finale. And honestly, it's a great reveal.
Yeah.
Like just the way because like you see her coming up through the water, the boat kind of like splits in half, and then she's like comes out of the water roaring to the sky, and it's really, really cool. Yeah, it's great. But again, we don't get the name at all. Because instead we get we get Dwayne Johnson randomly saying, "Huh, it's funny. I was just about to say we could have used a giant alligator right about now."
Oh my god!
And that feels so out of place too, but I love it.
I think just the all the characters' reactions to Lizzie showing up just made it so funny. It was basically the like, you've got to be kidding me kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you know what? That's an acceptable response. This whole situation is utterly ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Like even putting yourself, like trying to immerse yourself in Rampage's world. Like if you're actually there in the situation and you're just like, you look up and there's a giant ape and like a flying squirrel wolf and a giant alligator with tusks. You're like, what is this? Like, what is going on?
And listen, like you can have kaiju movies that you can easily see yourself in, like Godzilla 2014, like Monsters, Gareth Edwards' first film. Like those are grounded movies that you can easily put yourself in. And like I guess Rampage is kind of like that to an extent. I feel like it's more like that than something like Godzilla versus Kong.
Definitely. Godzilla versus Kong definitely taps more into like the fantastical kind of like fantasy type stuff.
Yeah, because you know, instead of there are giant monsters living inside the earth, these are, you know, kind of generic genetic mutations that are. It's from CRISPR, isn't it? The gene.
It's called Crispy.
Crispy.
They call it CRISPR, but I just every time.
Well, CRISPR is an actual thing. It's an actual project.
CRISPR, but I'm going to call it Crispy.
I mean, that's fine. Yeah.
But like the company doing it is like Energene or something.
It is Energene, yeah.
Energene.
What a generic name for a science company.
Can we talk about how violent this movie is?
Here's the thing, like. When we saw it in the theaters, I was taken aback by how violent it was. And when I watched it again in January, I was expecting it to be more violent than it ended up being, if that makes sense.
So here's the thing. I originally I had the same reaction when I first saw it. Like, it was really violent. But I think that since it's been so long since we've seen it, we may have kind of remembered it differently. Like, like maybe the violence was at it, like, you know, we just remembered it differently. But then I watched it and I was like still surprised by how violent it was.
Yeah, I mean,
because like it wasn't as gory as I remember it being, but like there's still like some violent imagery.
Yeah, I mean, there's the
movie.
whole there's no better word for it. There's the whole massacre with where we first meet Ralph, and we have Joe Manganiello in the movie for a grand total of 5 minutes. As this super badass mercenary who can kill anything, and then his entire squad gets torn apart by a giant wolf.
Yeah,
and it like they're very brief glimpses, but like you see people like just torn in half.
Yeah,
and it's surprisingly violent for a movie for a movie about Dwayne Johnson fighting giant monsters, and then. The final battle between George and Lizzie, like George stabs her through the eye.
Yeah.
Like it gets to be a little violent for something like this.
Also, remember, Lizzie bites Ralph's head off.
Oh, that's right. She does.
Yeah.
That's a decapitation.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, we've gotten decapitations in some of the MonsterVerse movies.
Lizzie does the gator death roll.
She does.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way they weren't going to do that.
No. It's the coolest thing ever.
I mean, Godzilla did that.
It's true, he did.
But yeah. And so here's the thing I wanted to talk about that I feel kind of sets this apart from some of the other Dwayne Johnson giant monster movies. Because again, it feels like one of those Dwayne Johnson blockbuster action movies. But I don't know who the director is. I can't remember his name. But I have to imagine he has like some sort of kind of love and respect for giant monster movies because just the way things are like shot, quote unquote, because it's it's all CGI effects, obviously. It just has this feel like you can tell like this is not just some run of the mill cash grab giant monster movie that there are so many of. Like it actually feels like this guy knew what he was doing in making it. Like he was given the reins to this movie, and the studio's probably like, whatever, do what you want. But like he actually knew what he was doing, so it actually ended up being pretty solid.
Yeah, there was definitely while watching it, there was definitely a feeling that some thought went into this movie, or a lot of thought went into this movie. I feel like with a lot of bad kaiju movies, you watch them and you're just like, what were these people thinking? Mm-hmm. But then this whole movie, like, it was just like pretty concise. You were like, all right, everything, as dumb as dumb as it is, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And like it just wasn't obnoxious at all. Like it was just a good time. And also the director is Brad Peyton.
Brad Peyton. What else have you done, Brad Peyton?
I can tell you.
Brian can tell us.
Through the power of Google.
This is Brian's learning hour.
He did Journey 2. Oh, Dave, he directed San Andreas.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, he did.
Oh my God.
Yep.
I was not expecting that.
He did the Cats and Dogs sequel.
Wow, what a repertoire this guy has.
Yep. Yeah, he did Incarnate, which is a movie I've heard of.
I don't think I know that.
Oh, what else? That looks like it's about it. Nope, he did another Cats and Dogs sequel, but in 3D. And that's all.
I don't suppose he did the first Cats and Dogs.
No, because that movie's actually good. I actually don't know. It's probably been.
I haven't seen it since elementary school, probably.
Yeah, same. I remember liking it.
Wow, I cannot believe he did San Andreas. That's actually really funny.
Yeah, he did San Andreas. Maybe that's why they seem so similar.
I guess so.
Well, San Andreas is an actually good disaster movie.
It is and like, there are a lot of disaster movies, and not a lot of them are good.
Geostorm.
I wouldn't even consider San Andreas that good, but like for what it is, it's good.
Well, it was a good time.
It's a good time, and I think that's what kind of sets big action blockbusters apart. Is not whether they're good or not, it's whether they're a good time or not, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, the thing with disaster movies and kaiju movies, like, it's so easy to make them frustrating to watch. Mm-hmm. They're very similar in that sense, and I feel like Rampage is just like a disaster movie with a kaiju coat of paint.
Yeah, and I was actually just about to say, like, I'm kind of surprised we haven't gotten one that really leans heavily into that disaster aspect of the kaiju. And I mean, Gareth Edwards did kind of do that in 2014, but I feel like
he showed a lot of aftermath stuff.
He did. But I don't think, like, I'm having difficulty wording this, but like, you look at a movie like San Andreas, or like, as not good as it is, as 2012.
Oh God.
But like, you don't really see a lot of like, I really can't find a good way to word this. This is gonna drive me insane. You don't see the kind of like impact it has that these actions, these happenstances have on the world. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see, you see destroyed cities, but like you don't really.
They don't mean anything.
Yeah, they don't mean anything. That's what I'm getting at. Like, there's no
because the point of the story is the monster, not the destruction.
Exactly. So, there's no like consequences.
So
is what I'm getting at.
That's actually kind of leaning into something I wanted to talk about, and it has to do with the size of the creatures.
Okay.
So the whole time I was kind of like, man, these monsters like they're big, but they're not huge. Mm-hmm. Like they're still, they're not normal sized.
They're big enough to
they're big
easily climb a building.
Yeah, but they're not like Godzilla sized. They're not like what we see in other movies. And I actually think that is a benefit to the story, because not only does it make it easier to shoot to actually like film it in a non obnoxious way.
Yeah.
I think it actually makes it a lot easier to show what they're doing. Like there's a shot where you can see them climbing the side of a building, and Lizzie like rolls through the building and then onto the other side of it, which is one of the coolest things ever. And the only other time in a movie we've ever gotten a shot like that is in a Transformers movie.
And you're not talking about Dark on the Moon,
I am talking about Dark on the Moon. That movie sucks. But
honestly, I'd say that's probably the best of the Bay formers.
I don't like any of them.
That's totally fair, but I would say Dark on the Moon is the best out of them. Yeah. Out of the three I've seen, at least. I haven't seen the Age of Extinction or whatever the other one was. No. I don't know. I didn't even remember what the fifth one's called. Last night.
Dave, this isn't a Transformers cast. Okay.
We're gonna do an episode on the Bay formers movies, Ryan.
Someday. But okay. So what I'm trying to say is, like, with other monster movies, like, look at, Godzilla versus Kong. They just tip buildings over. But in this, like, they go through them, they like tear them apart bit by bit, and it's like kind of more like you're like, oh man, what? Like just stuff like that. And then also like there's a shot where Lizzie comes out of the river and like splits the boat open on her back, and like you can see the people like falling onto her, and you're just like, oh, what? Whoa. Like that's destruction that's actually kind of meaningful.
Yeah.
And I think because they're not gigantic, it kind of makes it better. Because you're like, it's more small scale, and like we're more used to small scale.
So like you see more of the impact because they're smaller than say a Godzilla. You see more of the impact they have on the world.
Yeah, because if Godzilla hits a building, it's just gonna fall over.
Yeah, you're not gonna like. There's most directors, and I'm not saying this as a dig at anyone who's done big budget Godzilla movies or just kaiju movies in general. Like you don't typically see, what's happening like on the ground. You're mostly focused on the monsters, and that's for the most part that's okay. But the fact that you brought that up, like the fact that they're smaller, that absolutely works. And I think that also kind of goes into why it feels so different from a typical, Hollywood action movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I see where you're getting. That's a good observation, Brian.
A big brain moment right here.
Big brain moment.
I should be a movie journalist.
Ryan's big brain moments. That's the segment of the podcast.
Okay, we're gonna make it reoccurring.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you every whatever we watch, whatever we do, you got to come in with a big brain take each time.
All right.
Think you can do that?
Yep. So last episode, making up for it, my big brain moment was war's bad. There you go.
In the context of what?
Because Kong's race and Godzilla's race were in a big war.
Okay.
And then it affected the future.
Okay.
Or something.
I mean, I guess.
War's not good. It's super bad.
Yeah. Man, it's almost like we're getting ready for a Gundam episode.
Yeah. You know what?
It'll be a while for that.
Do a Gundam episode in like 3 years, maybe.
I'd have to like look to see what's a good Gundam series. I think I've heard Gundam Wing is pretty good.
No, I wouldn't know.
Neither would I. I'm just saying what I've heard in the past. What the hell were we talking about before?
Well,
I got way off track here.
I finished my Brian big brain moment.
Your Brian's big brain moment. We finished that. Okay.
So those are all my observations with the movie. There's not really much plot to spoil.
There really isn't. Like it's not like a tentpole blockbuster. It's not like it's not like an Infinity War or a Godzilla versus Kong that people were looking forward to for a number of years. It's it's a pretty self-contained story. Again, yeah, there's not much to the plot.
Yeah, the funny part is that the only important part of the plot happens right at the beginning,
like the
space station blowing up, and then the stuff like falling.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I want to ask you about this because this I feel breaks the universe.
Okay.
So first off, to tie it into the actual video game, the gene stuff that makes the animals all big, It's part of Project Rampage, so there's that. But here's the thing. In Olivia Bad Guy's office, in the background, you see a Rampage arcade cabinet. How does this work? How exactly can the video game Rampage exist, and then how can three animals that are all very, very similar to the animals in Rampage the video game suddenly get big and do exactly the thing that happens in the video game? That is like the biggest coincidence. That can't be coincidence.
So what if
how did this happen?
So what if it was all like planned? So like in this universe, Rampage the video game exists.
Yeah.
And then the space station blows up, and then like all the the containers like with all the gene stuff like they fall into Earth.
If they blew up, there was no way for them to like kind of steer the canisters to go exactly where they needed to be.
But maybe they were. We don't know. Maybe maybe like
they didn't have any like jets on them. It was just like a black box.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like you could probably do some math to like
I
don't know, like some weird science.
That is you have to have multiple PhDs in physics to figure that out, I feel.
Yeah, I'm sure this evil company could find someone to do that.
Maybe.
I don't know, like maybe, and then they were just like, yeah, we want like maybe Olivia was like, I like how we call her Olivia. We just don't even know. But
I'm gonna look up her name.
But maybe she just really liked Rampage growing up, and she's like, you know what? What if that was real life?
I'm gonna make like she was her dad played Rampage with her as a kid, and that's what she decided she wanted to do when she grows up. She's like, I want to make that happen for real.
I want that to be real life. I want a real giant
Claire. Her name's Claire.
Claire. Okay, that's also an evil name. Sorry to any Claires out there. Okay, so headcanon is Claire, the evil mastermind woman who's like comically evil.
Yep.
She
really is comically evil.
When she growing up, she was like, you know what? I really love Rampage. That's such a good video game. And then she buys a Rampage arcade cabinet, and then she has an idea. What if I go through all this effort and I go through school and I make a giant company and I make Rampage real life? And then she does.
I think we just made the movie like at least 75% more interesting now.
Yeah.
Now that we've discovered this plot.
So what I'm trying to say is, please hire us. We should make a prequel movie.
I mean, I want to see a follow up to this.
Yeah, honestly,
I would love to see a Rampage. I don't think it'll happen, but I'd love to see it.
So what do you if they were the hypothetical sequel? What animals would you like to see?
Well, because there have been more than one.
Yeah, but
Rampage game.
your top picks.
Ooh, this is tough. What would be good? Because I feel like you would have to like stick in kind of the Predator range.
So I have an idea.
Okay.
So in this movie, George kills a grizzly bear.
That's right. He does.
What if this grizzly bear had like a lover,
or like out for revenge,
or like a child like out for revenge, and then the bear he like goes up to like an Energine person, or like an Energine person like steals the bear or something. And they're just like, you know what? This bear has like a vendetta. Let's see what happens if we give it the.
Is the bear communicating with this human being?
No. Like the Energine person, like they take the bear because it's like it's got like an emotional reaction towards George, and they want to kill George.
Okay.
And or like harvest him or something. And so they're like, oh, we got to get this bear. We're gonna give it the crispy. And then the bear turns into like a huge monster that they can't control because that's always how it happens. But yeah, that's what I'd like to see.
We got to have at least more than one other one.
Yeah, maybe like another wolf.
Another wolf
in the same pack.
Well, I thought Ralph killed all the wolves in his pack, didn't he?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's sad.
Yeah. I don't know if it wouldn't work as well. I'd like to see a shark. I mean, that's kind of an easy path to go.
Be king shark.
I mean,
just come out of the ocean with legs.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a megalodon.
Yeah. Crossover between Rampage
Yeah, I was gonna
and
say
the
that.
Meg.
Oh, well then it's Jason Statham and The Rock.
They'll be reunited after Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Oh, you can make so many like connections.
Oh my
with,
God.
like universes.
We
and stuff.
need Universal to hire. I think it's Universal who owns Fast and Furious, at least.
Yeah.
I don't know. It may have been New Line who did San Andreas and all that.
I think
fun stuff.
it was New Line.
I'm gonna double check. Probably. Okay, New Line did do Rampage. Who did the Meg? That's Warner Brothers. Okay, interesting. Oh wait, Warner Brothers also is distributed Rampage. So this could happen, is what I'm saying.
I'd be down.
And Warner Brothers and Universal already are like kind of buddy because they still own the rights to Kong.
Okay. You know, honestly, this is a lot like a Mortal Kombat story. With, like people just kind of showing up,
It really is.
like in a like from different like dimensions or timelines or whatever. They're just like showing up, like, oh, I just showed up here.
So in a like a hypothetical situation, if George and the Meg fought, who would win? Because think about it, George at least has, you know, he's genetically altered, but the Meg is just a big shark.
True. I actually think the Meg would win.
Yeah, because they would have to fight in the water, and the Meg would have the, you know, home advantage.
And also, we saw the Meg is fast,
Meg is very fast.
which is not entirely realistic, but you know, whatever. I don't care. Giant sharks aren't realistic.
I was gonna say it's a movie about Jason Statham fighting a giant shark is not exactly realistic.
Do you think we're ever going to get a follow up to the Meg?
We are.
Oh, we are. We are.
Ben
That's
Wheatley's
right.
directing it, who is a very good director.
So, would you consider the Meg a kaiju movie that we can cover?
Yes, I
Okay.
absolutely would consider the Meg a kaiju movie.
Okay. All right.
And
So
I would
look
absolutely love to do an episode on the Meg.
All right. So look
'Cause
out
it's been
for
a while since I've seen that.
look out for a Meg
A Meg episode.
Meg episode and
Oh my God.
whenever.
Where's Josh? Is Josh here? Hi, Josh. Do you remember the idea we had? I know you guys can't hear Josh in the microphone, but a long time ago, Josh and I had the idea at our college radio station to do Meg Mondays. we can make Meg Mondays a reality.
Yeah, because we filmed this on Mondays.
Yeah,
So
we
it works out.
record the podcast on Mondays,
So we make
so we can make Meg Monday a reality. Josh,
So we do a Meg.
I'm keeping this in.
So we do the Meg segment of the episode where
Meg
like
segment.
where Josh comes on and
Or
reads
the Megment.
Josh comes on and like reads a part of the script.
Well, the idea for Meg Mondays was that we were going to read a chapter of the Meg book every Monday.
Oh God.
Josh is here.
Yeah, the idea was we play like a shark related song, and then we just read like a full chapter of the book, then end with the shark song, and then just peace out. That's it. That was the whole idea.
Okay.
We can make it happen. We can bring it back.
Okay. Yeah. We'll have to try to make this work.
Oh, this is going to be great.
Yeah. Okay. So
We're having
we
some
got.
good. We're having this was my big brain moment for the day.
So Rampage 2 featuring George, a giant bear, and the Meg.
The Meg,
The
not
Meg.
just any big shark, but the Meg.
Not even a genetically altered Meg.
Yeah,
Just the Meg.
just a Meg. They're big. It's big enough.
They don't even need the advantage. Oh, what about like a Jason Statham on the crispy?
Well, here's the thing. Going into Rampage, I was kind of hoping Dwayne Johnson would take the serum and become a giant Dwayne Johnson and fight.
That'd be so
I was
cool.
so hoping for that to happen. I'm still a little disappointed that it didn't, but like I'm still happy with how the movie wrapped up.
Yeah.
But like I feel like that was definitely a missed opportunity there to give Dwayne Johnson big.
Yeah, but Dwayne Johnson did actually fight the monsters.
He did.
though.
That's
He
impressive
took
because like you don't see a lot of kaiju movies where the humans really do a whole lot against the monsters by themselves.
He took a grenade launcher and he like shot Lizzie a bunch with it.
Yeah, and he threw all the grenades into her gills and actually did some damage.
Yeah. Lizzie was all pissed.
Yeah, as you could imagine, I wouldn't want grenades thrown in my throat.
Yeah.
Seems uncomfortable.
No. That sounds awful.
Yeah, it does.
Anyways, that's Rampage.
That's Rampage, everybody.
That's Rampage. Go watch it. Would you consider it a hidden gem? In the context of 2021.
Yeah, I'd say so. 'Cause I don't know how. I don't think it really did very well when it came out.
I don't even remember what the critical reaction to it was.
I mean, when I looked it up, it had like a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. Not that Rotten Tomatoes matters, but like it wasn't, it wasn't high.
Yeah, I do remember saying to somebody, maybe you or someone else, that this is the best video game adaptation.
Yeah, I mean, I'd big budget wise, absolutely.
Like, except for the Mortal Kombat movie from like the 90s. But that's, we're getting another one, so maybe it'll be surpassed. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I think that comes out this week, actually.
The 23rd. Yeah.
Oh. But yeah, I would say at the time of recording this, I would probably consider Rampage the best video game adaptation because, I mean, even though it's not, well, I was going to say I hesitate to call it an adaptation, but like the fact that the original game is just an arcade game that doesn't have a whole lot of story to begin with, there's a lot of wiggle room for what you can do for the story. So yeah, I would say it's probably the best video game adaptation.
But it makes me think that arcade games are actually the easiest games to adapt into movies.
Good point.
Because the more that you have to work with, like the more rules you're confined to, which is why, like, I'm guessing like Assassin's Creed was so bad because they had all this stuff that they had to like, like they had all these rules they had to about. Like,
so you're saying story heavy games don't lend themselves to be adapted very well to film.
Yeah, because with story driven games, like you have the story of a movie, but you also have the interactivity of a game. And so
not to mention you're not constrained by like a 2-hour time limit. Yeah, like a game can be as long as you want it to be, and you can have all the time in the world to tell that story.
Yeah, that's why the idea of like a Naughty Dog game movie, like an Uncharted or Last of Us movie, makes no sense because while I don't like those games, like you're taking the game, which is a well done story and also gameplay, and you're just removing one aspect from it, which is just going to make it worse.
Yeah, so you're struggling to fit, a 10-hour story into a 2-hour film.
Yeah, which is why like those would definitely translate better to TV,
which is what they're doing with The Last of Us.
But to movies, it would not. Which is why like Rampage was so good as a movie because there's no
story that you need to tell.
There's no story that you need to like cling to, and you can make up rules because the only rule you have is that you have 3 giant monsters that have to destroy buildings.
I think in the game, like the reason, first off, in the game, the monsters aren't animals; they're people.
Oh yeah,
they're people. They like got exposed to toxic waste and they turned into giant monsters.
Oh, okay.
I'm a little glad that they didn't go with because that's a little more.
Yeah, that's a little ridiculous.
That's a little more ridiculous. Which again, in a movie about giant monsters, we shouldn't really be talking about things that are ridiculous. But they did attempt to make it a little more grounded, and I'll give them that. But yeah, there's really nothing you need to do other than having giant monsters destroy a building in a Rampage adaptation. So I think, I think we're in agreement on that. That's a good rule.
Yeah.
So what other video games do you think we could get arcade game wise?
Oh,
Mortal Kombat we're getting.
Yeah, you see that's the thing though. Like Mortal Kombat's kind of in a weird spot with like film adaptation because while the original is like an arcade game,
they have gone more deeper into story since, like, right? Yeah,
the way it's progressed is that it's actually like now it has like a really interesting story, but it is the advantage of it is that it is a story that can translate well to film. Like with the game, like the structure of the gameplay doesn't like really affect the structure of the story. So like because they're so like because you can easily just watch the cutscenes for the games and they basically line up as a movie.
Yeah, I think like Mortal Kombat 11, like it's a total of 5 hours at most.
Yeah, with gameplay.
Yeah,
and like there's a lot of stuff that could be cut out. Like I think it's one of those stories that's just like really easy to translate to a movie, and there's a bunch of stuff you can just like like obviously the newer games, like the universe gets more complex and like there's a lot more, there's a lot more stuff going on, like with Chronica and like, these newer characters. But like I'm assuming what they're doing with the new one is that they're just doing the tournament storyline where
I think that's what
they go to Shang Tsung's island and fight to save Earthrealm or whatever, which is the story of Mortal Kombat 9. So I don't know. I think that's an easy game to translate to film. As for other games, I'm not really sure. I kind of don't want it because I feel like when you take the gameplay out of games, they're just not interesting. This is a hot take, but game stories in general are not very good.
Okay.
So making them into a movie and removing the gameplay aspect of it just isn't appealing for me. Like there are some games that I can definitely see it working on, like maybe like Dead Space. You can make that a movie because it's just a horror movie, but it's not going to make it interesting. I'd rather just go play Dead Space.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's my opinion.
What's your opinion?
Hot
yeah,
take.
I mean, I can't really think of anything. At least not many arcade games that could work because, like, I mean, to be fair, I don't really know a whole lot of arcade games that could work as a movie. Like
Ninja Turtles, do it again.
We've had multiple times.
I know, but do it again.
Well, it's only worked twice.
Yeah,
once in the 90s and once in the mid 2000s. So, in which we were supposed to get a sequel to that 2007 one, and it never happened.
Damn.
Oh well. Well, Brian, do you have anything more to say about the hit movie Rampage?
Go see it and watch San Andreas.
Go see it. It's not in the theaters.
Or not go see it, but go watch it. It's on HBO Max. And
is it? Okay.
Yep. Go watch San Andreas after. Or before. Doesn't matter to me. Just watch both of them because they're great.
They are. And Dwayne Johnson flies a helicopter in both of them.
Yeah, yes. He can fly a helicopter in both of them. Actually, the reason I would say to watch both is because his characters in both movies are exactly the same. They both have the same skill sets.
They do.
Yeah.
Do you think Dwayne Johnson can fly a helicopter in real life?
Probably.
Okay.
I feel like Dwayne Johnson just has so much free time that he just learns to do what, like between his crazy eating habits.
Yeah, and doing movies.
And doing movies and like working out for like 6 hours a day.
Yeah.
He probably is just looking for stuff to do. And like on a weekend, he's just like, you know what?
Taking helicopter flying lessons.
I want to fly a helicopter. I want to do it for real.
All right. We'll have to get him on the show and ask him.
Yeah, totally.
Could you imagine if we got Dwayne Johnson on the show to talk about Rampage?
We get a real life kaiju on the show.
Yeah. I think we
huge.
made that joke last time.
He's huge, dude. He's giant.
I know.
I don't even know how tall he is, but
I don't know.
But he's like
he's wide. I feel like he's more wide than tall.
I mean, like his arm is bigger than like my face.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. My face is large for the audience.
All right. I think that'll do it for Rampage. Brian, we'll move on to our next segment, maybe, if it actually happened.
What happened?
What cool new kaiju thing are you checking out now?
Well, I haven't read it yet, but I am reading I'm gonna go home and read it today.
I gave it to you 2 weeks ago.
I know. I've been busy.
Too busy to read a single issue of a comic?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's been a busy week.
It takes like 20 minutes.
It's been a busy week. I have a busy life.
All right.
Mondays are the only days I really have that are, and last Monday was taken up by stuff.
Okay.
So, no excuse, but I'm gonna read it. So I'll give an update, my opinion on it next.
To be clear, Brian is talking about the Ultra Mega comic that I mentioned not last time, but the time before.
Yeah, but I have heard good things about it from multiple people now.
Oh.
So
okay.
I am definitely going to read it.
I have not been checking out anything recently. I was hoping to have read the Godzilla vs. Kong comic tie-ins, Godzilla Dominion and Kingdom Kong by now, but when I went to go try to buy them, I could not find them at the comic store. So I'm hopefully going to go do that after I'm done recording here. Hopefully I'll be able to find it.
Order them online.
Yeah, but then I got to pay for shipping.
Oh, yeah, that's not fun.
I don't want to pay for shipping because I'm a cheap bastard.
I could have told you that.
You didn't need to because I already know.
Okay, yeah. At least we're on the same page.
Yeah, exactly. It's fine. But so unfortunately, for 2 weeks, two episodes in a row, there's nothing to talk about. For what cool new kaiju thing are you checking out right now?
I think I am gonna try replaying the most recent Godzilla video game.
Really?
Because I am. It's been a while, and I want to see if I still am bored to tears by it.
Have we talked about the market for that game?
Yeah. No, you mentioned that like copies of it are just like obscenely expensive.
Like I've seen them go for like $300 online.
That's why I'm not gonna sell.
I'm not gonna sell
it.
mine
I'm
either.
gonna
No,
keep
God
mine.
no.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep mine.
We're holding on to gold there.
I still don't know why. My guess is they just stopped.
Yeah, they
production
because
on
they didn't sell well, so
Yeah.
they stopped making them.
I pre-ordered that game.
So did I.
I pre-ordered it, and I got a poster with it.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
Is that still hanging up in your room?
No,
Oh.
all the poster roll's gone.
Oh,
I had to take them all down. But yeah. So next time,
Yeah, maybe we'll talk about Godzilla PS4.
yeah, next time I will. I'll tell you about it. I'm gonna play through the story, whatever story there is.
I think the story is only like you can probably take down the story in like an hour,
Yeah. So I'm gonna play the story and then like the arcade mode
Yeah.
or whatever it is, and
which is basically just the story, just with you can play as the other monsters. I think.
yeah. So I'm gonna do that, and I'll update. I'll tell everyone how it is, so you can spend $500 to play it yourself.
Because I think another thing about it is that it's delisted from the PlayStation Store.
Of course it is.
So that's another reason why it's so expensive
so
nowadays.
so we really are sitting on gold.
we are sitting on gold.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Well, I think that'll about do it for this time. Should we tell the people what we're covering next time?
I think we should actually keep it a secret.
Keep it a secret? Okay.
Yeah, keep it a secret.
I will say I forgot to bring it with me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. Is it on anything?
It's like streaming?
Oh,
God, no. It's an independent kaiju film that came out this year.
well, maybe I can follow you home.
You can follow me home. I don't even know if I'm going right home after this. Who knows?
Well, we'll talk about it later.
If anything, I'll swing by your house and I'll drop it off.
Sounds good. All right. Yep. Keep the audience secret.
Yeah, I'll say it's an independent kaiju film. It's very, very good.
Very recent.
Very recent. Yeah, we've met the director.
Well,
But that means nothing to you guys, but
we didn't. We did.
we
meet him.
met the
Yeah,
director.
Yeah, we
back
we
at
did.
G Fest of 2019. We'll let you guys figure out who that could be.
Mhm.
If you care to do the research to see who was a guest at G Fest 2019.
I'm sure if you actually do the research through power of deduction, you can actually figure out what movie.
I mean,
it
we
is.
met multiple directors. We met two at least.
Yeah.
But only one of them actually has a recent kaiju film. So,
Yeah. But anyways, yeah.
All right, that'll be it for today. I'm your host, David Scrivani.
I am your second host, Brian Kershaw.
Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Talking Toku. And we will see you guys next time. See you later.